Welcome back, everybody. I hope you hear me okay. I don't have my earphones on. Oh my goodness, how about if I do this just so I can hear and making sure that my sound is great. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to adjust here. Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is not just any week, this is a soul surgery week. We're stepping through a very powerful Pisces Lunar Eclipse portal, and it's happening this weekend. So we have the Saturn at its final degrees in Pisces. Yeah, that's right. This is karmic graduation energy. So we have Pluto tearing down your illusions. Uranus is dropping your shocking truths. And you've got the universe saying, yeah, you're not going back to where you used to be. No, not at all. So if you've been feeling emotional, restless, or even maybe a little drained, this is why. All right. So this alignment is really actually happening in real time right now this weekend. So I'm going to be breaking down in detail the astrology readings for each sign. And so we have Aries through Pisces. We're going to start with Aries right on through to Pisces. And so for those, watch for your sun for your soul path, your moon for your emotional depth. You've got your rising for how this energy is showing up in your daily life, and your Venus, which has a lot to do with your love life. So grab your coffee. I've got my coffee. I've got my lemon water. Get cozy, get yourself comfortable, and let's dive into this eclipse portal together. Hopefully you find something interesting that I have to share, because this week is going to change everything for you. All right. So So here we go. Each sign. Let's start with Aries. So Aries, all right. So Aries, your current energy, you have the Knight of Wands, you got the Hermit, the Five of Cups is your challenge. Your relationships is showing Two of Cups. Your career is showing Three of Pentacles. And for your advice, I'm showing the Star. All right. So your Knight of Wands has a lot to do with your not to rush, but you're thinking of making a bold move. And your Hermit card is about inner guidance, challenges, is showing Five of Cups, which is about regrets. Two of Cups, of course, is a connection that could deepen if you're open to it. And with the Three of Pentacles, usually that is about everybody working together, sharing. And with the advice, the Star, I'm getting you wake up for next week or this week starting. You wake up with this amazing King of Wands energy, and you've got a fire under your belt, and you're like doing 100 things all at once. And so you've been procrastinating for a couple of things, and so you're just ready to make that bold move. You're just, what is that message you was meaning to send? What was that project you were meaning to complete? You don't even think twice about sending that message. You just you go to send it, but the Hermit card says, oh, wait, maybe you should think about it. So by the time you start moving along into the week, you start double checking the details. You start realizing your plan wasn't really quite so ready. And so you start, looking at your plan and refining it a little bit because, the universe is not trying to slow you down or frustrate you. It's just about protection, right? So, meanwhile, your person or your lover, your friend, your SP, they've been on your mind a lot. And so under this type of eclipse energy, maybe there's you're finding that they're emotional, they're quiet, they may be distant, maybe they've been like not really messaging. It's feeling weird, it's been weird. And so, the fire under your butt wants answers, but they're transforming. They're not rejecting you. So because all of these karmic tests are being thrown your way, maybe an old regret will pop up, someone's words, a missed opportunity, a memory you just can't shake. Because with that 5 of Cups, this is your chance to let go of something that hasn't been feeling good. It's something that you regret. You're not the same person anymore. And so something is coming up for you to release. So, at work, everybody's getting along. It's showing that you're shining, you're collaborating. People are noticing your gifts. Don't isolate yourself because, you are starting to shine with your ideas. By the end of the week, you've got Uranus and Gemini delivering a curveball. And so maybe you're going to receive a text that you didn't expect. Maybe there is a surprising conversation or an insight that just kind of like, oh, surprise. That makes sense. And so with your 2 of Cups saying a connection is possible if you just kind of like relax a little bit and be in your vulnerability, because this eclipse isn't about proving yourself. It's more about building those bridges. So what you're going to find by next weekend is that with the star, finally you're going to be reminded that hope is strength. It's not being naive. Things are going to start falling into place. Healing isn't linear. You're going to be lighter. You're going to be softer. It's kind of a week where your story could take a big turn, not through speed, but through being surrendering and just allowing things to play out. And so, the universe might say to you, Aries, rest is your enemy, right? Lead with love, right? Let Venus in Leo warm up your words. Don't be afraid of being a little bit of in your attention, because Mars in Libra is teaching you about balance. It's teaching you about connection, because sometimes the bravest thing a warrior does is wait for the moment to strike. A warrior knows it takes absolute aim and shoot. All right, Aries. All right, let's move on to Taurus. For those who are familiar, I usually record these and have my little signs showing. And so when I record it under, I think I was using OBS, I found that my microphone kept on going and cutting in and out. So I'm recording these live. And by doing that, I don't have that. So I might download this later and still add those little details again. Sometimes I have the chance to do that. So if you would like to watch them with the little different things there, I might upload those yet. All right, Taurus, let's see what's going on with you. Wow, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, we've got the Tower, we got the Nine of Wands, you got the Lovers, you got the King of Pentacles, and you've got Judgment. Wow. All right. So Taurus, your season of comfort is being a little shaken up. All right. So you've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is showing blessings, right? It's new opportunity. But the Tower says something has to shift. You know, maybe there's an outdated belief, maybe there's a job or a relationship dynamic that has been really not as strong as you thought it was, right? You've got the Nine of Wands, which means it's about protecting your peace while you are building this. It's, you know, it's just like focus on what is going to make you happy. You've got love being highlighted by the Lovers, and you've got career energy as the King of Pentacles. Wow, that's pretty good. You're stepping right into authority and stability. And with the Judgment card, this eclipse is a big wake-up call for you. It's time for you to claim the life that you've been dreaming of and not the one that you've been selling for. The shakeup is leading to solid ground. So this week for you, Taurus, you're going to start your week clutching to your plans like it's so important as your lifeline, right? You're going to be craving solid ground. You're going to be trying, well, Taurus, you're kind of famous for that. You're just like, oh my God, everything is just so important. But the Tower, it has other ideas. And so you have here the first of the week, a big shakeup, you know, maybe some unexpected news, maybe it's a shift at work, maybe it's some truth and love, and it's going to shake you out of your comfort zone. And so the universe is saying, this is not punishment. This is redirection. So don't be taking it so hard. With the Ace of Pentacles, this is going to shine through this chaos. All right. So it's going to make room for a gift to happen in this. So as this big catastrophe is happening, there's this gift hidden in the dust, right? A new opportunity. Maybe it's more money, career, stability. Something is coming out of this. It's a seed that you couldn't grow in your old soil, that you needed this new freshness to begin. And so your person, they may be feeling distant, far away. Maybe they're not even in communication right now. They've kind of been lost in that Pisces moon. You know, so you might feel it in their silence. You might be like feeling that they're just too distant, but don't mistake it, because they're going through their own transformation as well. Because midweek, you have Saturn at 29 degrees Pisces. And this will deliver a karmic test for you. Can you like trust this process? So, you know, with the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands is saying protect your peace, guard your energy, but don't wall yourself up completely. So by Wednesday, Thursday, you have Uranus in Gemini, and it's going to bring a surprise message, maybe an idea. It's going to be something that might change your whole outlook. And suddenly, hope feels safe again. So love is at a crossroads. The Lovers, The Lovers here says you're facing a karmic choice. And so, you could be choosing a partner or choosing yourself. You might be just breaking a cycle for good with this eclipse permanently. And so, that's okay, because maybe you're focusing on your career, because with the King of Pentacles here, it says that your leadership is consistent and you are about to be paid off big time for your choices that you make, because you are really becoming in your value and worth. So you have the week ending with the Judgment card. And so this is a wake-up call. All right. So this eclipse is about, drawing that line in the sand. The universe is saying, you know what, you're ready for the life that you've always dreamed of. And so you've been settling too much. I think I'm shaking my camera. You've been settling too much, and it's time for you to start stepping into your life that you know that you're ready for. Your ruler, Venus, is whispering, slow down, light a candle, create some beauty around you. What is leaving is not loss. It's ready for you to allow your flowers to bloom. And that's what I have for you, Taurus. All right. Gemini. I'm drinking my coffee. Gemini. I have a new microphone that is coming. Should be here Sunday. I'm hoping that it's here. And then what I'll do is, it's one of those little ones that I can clip on with my phone. And so I want to do some live readings. And definitely tomorrow it's supposed to arrive. So it would be nice if it arrives early so I can do live readings, and I'll have a different location. All right, so Gemini. All right, so we have 8 of Wands, 7 of Cups, the Moon, Page of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, the World. Wow, you got some stuff here. All right. So Gemini, the universe is saying this is a season of clarity through action. The 8 of Wands is saying this is a season to see a lot of shifts in messages, news. Something is actually speeding up. Now that we have Mercury out of retrograde, something is moving quite fast. And you've got the 7 of Cups here, which is, there's illusions around you. You don't know what choice to make. And so not every option is worth your energy, and you don't know what choice to make, because some things may be fantasy or limerence, right? And so the moon is confirming about this eclipse, right? Because it's going to expose something that you thought was hidden, or maybe a secret is going to come out this week, because love energy is coming through your Page of Cups. And it's soft, it's romantic, it's healing. Maybe there's some conversations that's going to be really good. Maybe it's a new connection. Maybe it's some nice, mild flirting. Career-wise, you've got the Eight of Pentacles. So, you're focusing on moving ahead. You're focusing on doing all the hard work and getting somewhere. The world, though, is completion. It's closing out a complete chapter. You're stepping into your mastery. You have successfully completed what needed to be completed. And so this fall is about trusting your discernment and not rushing into the chaos. So, Gemini, you're going to step into this week with like a wind whirl of energy. And so, with the Eight of Wands, maybe your phone is buzzing with messages, maybe your mind is racing, you've got opportunities. It seems to be flying in every different direction. It feels exciting, but the universe says not every door is going to be worth your time. Don't open all of them. The Seven of Cups is warning you because with illusions and shiny distractions, there are some false promises or choices that may drain you of your energy. And so this eclipse is telling you that, this is your flashlight. It's really to shine directly on what is real, because, Saturn sitting at 29 degrees Pisces is testing your ability to focus. And so you are to trust yourself over all of these distractions and noise. Your person may feel hard to read, maybe distant, maybe they're being a little silent, maybe they're being a little avoidant. It's like, they're cocooned in their own little emotional process. And so, don't take this as rejection. They're just processing themselves. And so by middle end of next week, Uranus is in your sign, and this is going to drop a bombshell, a conversation, maybe a sudden realization that could clear the confusion. And especially with Uranus going in retrograde today, you could see, this may show you the way forward. Love this week is sweet and soft. And so you've got the Page of Cups, right? So the Page of Cups is like healing words, inner child healing. You might find some innocence that's going to come your way. It's going to be subtle. So, stay open. It feels playful. It plays innocent, right? In your career, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, right? So remember, Eight of Pentacles says your focus and skill are at your greatest assets right now. So keep showing up, keep leveling up, keep focusing on your work. Because by this weekend, next week, you're going to see complete graduation moment. Your cycle's complete. You're stepped into your mastery. Your choices that you've been avoiding, you're going to see all the truth now. It's a closure. It's a beginning of a new cycle for you. And the universe is saying, let that fast energy just move you forward. Just don't let it control you, right? You are in the middle of that storm's eye. So watch carefully, choose wisely, trust that by the end of this eclipse week, you'll be standing on higher ground. You will be like stepping through that tornado, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. Cancer. Sorry, I'm just trying to open up. All right, just wanted to open up and see if this was playing okay. All right. Cancer. You've got the Four of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Justice. You've got the Queen of Cups here. You got the Six of Pentacles, and you've got the Fool. All right, so Cancer, your cards are showing a real soul reset here. You've got the Four of Pentacles saying that you're holding tight, too tight, you know, like suffocating tight. You're afraid of a loss of some sort. So the universe is asking you to release whatever you are holding so tight onto. The Ten of Cups is promising you emotional fulfillment and harmony. You know, there is, you know, family and heart connections here that is highlighted. So whatever you are holding so tight on, it could allow this to breathe, this to actually create the emotional fulfillment that you're looking for. Because with the Justice card here, it says important decisions are being made and karmic balance is now coming. So in the relationships, you've got the Queen of Cups. That's your card. And so powerful intuition, deep compassion. You've got the Six of Pentacles in career, and Six of Pentacles in career says that you're being supported or rewarded. There's a lot of what you're giving, you're going to be receiving. And the Fool is your outcome. And that means you're stepping into a fresh chapter. You know, it's just like a leap of faith, and it's going to lead to an exciting adventure. This eclipse is your emotional rebirth. You're coming out a completely new beginning. So this eclipse is going to hit your heart like it's a big tidal wave. It's going to be healing in some way. And Monday, you may feel restless and deeply intuitive, and you may be tuned into every single moon shift that is around you. But your person may be distant, may be tender, their emotional depth may be mirroring yours. And so with the Pisces moon rewriting your connection, even if you don't see it yet, this you may see that, you know, there's going to be this nurturing energy that's going to come through. Saturn's karmic lesson says boundaries are self-love. And so Pluto digs into intimacy wounds, clears out your old fears. And so by midweek, you've got Uranus here bringing a surprise that will lift all of the heaviness, a sweet message, maybe an unexpected hug. Maybe it's a friend's call. Because this week is screaming your softness is your strength, your compassion, your nurturing is your mirror. And so maybe this week it's a great week for you to do water rituals, have some salt baths, journal, be near the water, restore your peace, and be in your energy. Because with the Fool card, you're stepping into a brand new beginning. All right. Leo. Hi, Anne. How are you? Leo. All right, Leo. What do you have for this week? All right, so Leo, you have the Strength card. You have the Five of Pentacles. You have the Temperance card here. You've got the Sun. You've got the Knight of Pentacles, and you have the Death card. All right. So, Leo. Leo, this is your Phoenix moment. You know, this week you've got the card Strength leading you in your spread. So what is this? It's saying you're stepping into your authentic confidence. It's not ego driven. It's not like, oh, the tension's on me. You're actually holding back in a sense of stoic energy. And so your Five of Pentacles says an old wound around scarcity or rejection is now finally healing. You have the Temperance, which is bringing a deep balance, and your patience is now paying off. In love, you got the Sun, and that says warmth, connection. You could have a reconciliation this week, maybe just bliss and happiness, right? Sun is the greatest card in the deck. In career, you have the Knight of Pentacles. It says slow growth is happening, even if it feels slow. And then you've got the Death card. And the Death card closes a story because you're shedding an old identity, because the Death card is about what needs to go, what needs to be buried, what needs to be, let it be, it served its purpose. And now let's move on. The eclipse is burning away any doubts and making space for a radiant new you. And so this week, opening with the Strength card, front and center, you're radiant, you're magnetic, and others can feel it. You're like in your sovereign energy. And the universe is whispering through this eclipse, drop the performance. The confidence must come from your soul, not from the spotlight. All right. So the Five of Pentacles is showing that old wounds have been surfacing, feelings of rejection, scarcity, abandonment. You feel left out in the cold. And so this isn't to hurt you. Those wounds are showing up because it's time to release them and heal them. And so Saturn at 29 degrees Pisces is your karmic teacher. And it says it's time to rewrite that story of what you are actually worth. Your person is deep in their own emotional process, and they may seem quiet or withdrawn. And this isn't about you, it's about their evolution. You have Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and it highlights power dynamics and love. And so, the universe is clearing space for authentic connections, real connections, not something that was really kind of fake. And so the Temperance card is patience is your superpower this week. Balance your fiery energy with grace. Relationships are transforming, but they're doing so in divine timing. Midweek, next week, you have Uranus and Gemini, and it shakes things up. So a message, support from an unexpected friend, or maybe some insight it's on its way forward. And so in love, you've got the Sun. And the Sun is saying, warmth is returning, joy, reconnection, deeper level of intimacy. They're here. And if they're not here yet, they are here on the horizon, because this is what this eclipse is bringing in for you. In career, you have the Knight of Pentacles. And so this is just confirmation that slow dedication is steady growth. And your seeds that you are planting now are going to bring long-term investments. You are going to receive what you are working so hard for. Now, the story is ending with the Death card. And so that is not a bad thing right here. This is the Eclipse Portal. And the Eclipse Portal is saying you are shedding an old identity, one rooted in needing validation, stepping into a raw, unstoppable confidence. And so this eclipse isn't taking anything away from you. It's just stripping away what is blocking you, what is hiding your glow. So the universe is saying your vulnerability is your crown. And so this week is your rising phoenix moment. You're going to rise with this beautiful, soft roar. And so watch love and abundance rush out to meet you and embrace you now. All right, Virgo. All right, Virgo. Hopefully your week brings you blessings like the other ones have so far. All right, so Virgo, let's see what's coming for you. All right, so you have Queen of Pentacles. You got the Devil card, Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and the Wheel of Fortune. For all of you who don't know my sun sign, hey, Carol. For you who don't know, my sun sign is Virgo. So I'm just going to try my best to keep my head out of this. So, Virgo, your cards are actually showing here it's a pivot. And this pivot is good. You know, you've got the Queen of Pentacles being your grounded and abundant energy, right? You're just you're in this energy of confidence and abundant, but here you have the Devil and the Ten of Swords. And so this is warning you of toxic attachments and being burnt out, that you can take on too much. And so the good news here is you have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups here is saying a wave of emotional healing or new love actually shows up. You know, this is not going to be all heavy. You know, career-wise, the Chariot says, well, you know what? Victory is coming because you're going to stay focused, or if you stay focused on that energy, if you know what the prize is and just focus that energy on the prize. Oh, I'm losing my ears. And if you just focus on the prize, you're going to see that you're going to win in that energy. And with the Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune is saying fate is spinning in your favor this eclipse season, and it is shifting you out of survival mode into alignment mode. This is a big karmic upgrade. This is not, you know, clinging to. This is like allow it to leave. You have here, Virgo, the spotlight is on you. And you know what? You can feel it. The sun, you got Mercury in your sign. It's making you very hyper aware of every single detail in your life and relationships. And so, with the spotlight being on you, Virgo, you can feel it in your bones. You can see that this is illuminating every detail in your life. You're hyper aware of everything, such as your routines, your goals. And so this isn't pressure. This is preparation to something big. And so with you stepping into this week in the Queen of Pentacles, you're stepping in with grounded, capable, friggin' great energy. And so with the Devil and the Ten of Swords, this heaviness in the air, it's revealing the truth about something toxic and draining and outdated. It needs to come to an end. And so this eclipse is pulling you out of that survival mode. It's clearing space so that you can step into your next chapter with the destiny. You know, your person, you know what? They're emotional, they're being reflective, maybe even distant or avoidant. You know, they seem to be plentiful now this year. And the Pisces moon, they they're kind of swimming in their own healing. They're mirroring your sensitivity back to you. And you've got Saturn, remember, at 29 degrees. And so in Pisces, it says this is a karmic closure in love and partnerships. And so the universe is asking you, release any control and just allow the trust in divine timing. Because midweek, you have the Ace of Cups. And with you having the Ace of Cups, it's bringing in a rush of emotional renewals. This could be a heart-opening conversation, self-love breakthrough. It may be some sparks of new love, or it may be a refreshing new beginning in an old relationship. Either way, your heart is going to feel lighter, not so heavy and not so, With the chariot in your career, this is how you're supposed to focus. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is upgrading all of your habits and health routines. And so this is where you have to focus. By Thursday, you've got Uranus and Gemini. And so remember, there is that surprise, a conversation, an opportunity, maybe some realization that's going to clarify your path, because suddenly whatever felt so overwhelming, so, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do this anymore, it's going to become clear. And so with the Wheel of Fortune, it's going to spin in your favor this weekend. Next week, you're going to say, this isn't random luck. This is destiny catching up to me. And so the energy that's coming through here is, don't cling to what needs to leave, because it's making room for you to now be in alignment. This week's transformation takes you from pressure to power. And this eclipse is saying, you know what? You're ready. Stop doubting yourself. You are the guide that others actually seek. All right, Libra. I should try to put these blinds down. Oh, they're just shining so brightly in my eyes. I'm squinting because I'm just putting them up higher. I'm squinting, trying to look into the camera here. All right. Libra. Libra, we have the Justice. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Four of Swords. We have the Knight of Cups. We have Two of Pentacles and the Magician card. All right, Libra. So this is saying, this is a season for you of renewal and power. With the Justice, you are stepping into balance and truth. The Page of Swords shows that you've been asked to learn, to research, to stay curious, to gather your information. The Four of Swords here is inviting you to have a deep rest. The retrogrades are your chance to recharge. In love, you've got the Knight of Cups. Shows romance and emotional expression is really flowing. There is a lot of communication here. And so you've got the Two of Pentacles saying that juggle carefully, don't overcommit, pay attention to the fact that, you've got a couple of things that's going on. You've got the Magician, where your manifestation power is peaking. You are really high in your manifesting energy. And every word, every action, every thought that you have in your mind, Libra, use them wisely, because everything will appear as you believe it. This week opens with your own card, Libra, the Justice card. And so this is saying you are handed a mirror and it needs to show you the truth about your relationships, your choices and how you contribute into your life, these energies. And so you're standing in this karmic alignment. And so the eclipse is making sure that you pay attention, because with the Page of Swords, it's saying pay attention to these details. What is the messages that are really being delivered to you? There may be some passing comments, maybe there's some soft whispers, but there is something here that you need to pay attention to, because the universe is speaking through these subtle signs. You are actually gathering this information, and this curiosity is actually your superpowers this week. The Four Swords, though, is saying rest, protect yourself. And so, with so many planets in retrograde, this isn't, some kind of race. This is not the time to put anything into action. It is a time for you to gather and protect and relax. Mars in your sign gives you this boldness, and with Saturn's really heavy energy, it's reminding you to slow down. You may want all of this action, but your soul is saying, no, I need to have calm. Your person, they may seem withdrawn. They may seem a little foreign. They may seem like they're really confusing right now. Under this eclipse, they're deep in their own healing. And so, this distance is connecting to your transformation around creativity and how you value yourself. And so the universe is designing this eclipse for you to really look at, where are you giving too much of your own energy to another. So here you have midweek Uranus in Gemini. And Uranus in Gemini is bringing some form of clarity, maybe a conversation, maybe there is some important news, maybe there's a moment of self-awareness. It's shifting everything for you. And so the Two of Pentacles is actually saying, you know what, you've been juggling a lot. And it's time for you to restore some of that balance, because romance is really sweet this week. And the Knight of Cups says love energy is flowing back in. And it's, soft, and it's it's your heart opening. So don't overthink it. Just receive what is being expressed to you, because as you are stepping into the end of the week in this magical magician power, your manifestation energy is peaking under this eclipse. Every thought is a spell, every word is carrying weight. And so the universe is setting you up to see that boundaries are beautiful. Peace is power. Protect your magic, protect your beautiful energy, because this week's karmic cleanup is about you resting so you can reflect and cast now your desires carefully. All right, Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, what do we have this week for you? You've got Nine of Pentacles, you get the Tower, you've got the Queen of Cups, you get the Three of Wands, and you've got the Star and the Death card. Scorpio. Transformation. And here you are showing in love, Queen of Cups. It's confirming your intuition is guiding you on a soul-aligned connection here. You've got Three of Wands in career, meaning expansion. Your visions are manifesting. You've got the Tower card here saying shocking truths are clearing space for your destiny. You have some independence and self-mastery showing up here with the Nine of Pentacles. And you are showing a rebirth with the Death card. This week for you, Scorpio, it's proof that this is your season of rebirth, even if it feels like a fire that you can't seem to put out and it's just burning and out of control. But the universe is saying, you're not breaking, you are breaking free. It's all about freedom. Because the Nine of Pentacles shows your independence shining, even in the chaos, and you're building a foundation no one can really shake. The Tower is confirming that a truth is going to be revealed. Maybe it's a sudden ending, maybe a revelation that's going to shake you to your core. And it's not destruction. It's destiny clearing a path. It's like the fire is burning through all of the rubbish. And this Pisces eclipse is amplifying your psychic depth. You know, the Queen of Cups says your intuition is so on point. And it's guiding you through a shadowy, muddy water. And secrets may surface this week. You know, some are yours, some are theirs. And with this retrograde in Aquarius, it says ancestral patterns, maybe old passed on wounds and family dynamics are being purged. So, you know, this is a generational healing that is happening. So, you know, what happens when you're purging them? You're going to find yourself even expelling all sorts of energy here. Your person, so your person may seem very unpredictable, almost like they're mirroring your intensity all of a sudden. You know, their energy is part of your transformation now. And, you know, they're holding up a mirror for your own growth. So what are they showing you? Pay attention. With the Three of Wands in your career, there is expansion. So, you know, you can see, you know, beyond, you know, a few feet ahead of you. So make plans that's going to stretch far into your future. And with Uranus in Gemini right now, you've got a shakeup. I'm sorry, you've got a shakeup. It may be your finances. It might be, you know, your commitments. It may be a relationship, but it could shift your trust, or a breakthrough conversation may happen, you know, for you. It could go either way. And so by the weekend, you've got the Star. And the Star is about healing and hope and destiny and wishes come true. So whatever feels like chaos is your soul being upgraded. So this is a week of you thriving in transformation. You know, trust your instincts, lean into that shadow work. You know, if you haven't yet, I have some information on working through your wounds and doing your shadow work. If you can't find it on my website, I do have a couple books on Amazon, and I do have a few groups that we're doing some group studies. And know that every tower falling is revealing the empire that is meant to build. And so that is your message for this week, Scorpio. All right, next we have Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. I hope the weather has been so gorgeous for us. And I'm watching a big game. I have a great big beautiful, I have a school right beside me. And my view is gorgeous, but I also have this big soccer field right in front of me too. And they're having a game. So, Sagittarius. All right, we got Knight of Swords. We've got Temperance. Seven of Pentacles, sorry. Two of Wands. The Emperor and the Ace of Wands. Sagittarius. This eclipse is about alignment over speed. The Knight of Wands is showing a communication or maybe a decision that is going to come to you quickly. It's sharing here that Temperance card, though, is saying patience is your divinity. With the Seven of Pentacles, it confirms your seeds aren't growing. So, they're not ready to be able to be pulled out to harvest yet. You need a little time. Just allow a little time yet. In love, you've got the Two of Wands. And so there is some distance involved with some journey. Maybe it's a choice. There is something that you're looking back at. And career-wise, you have the Emperor. And this is about stepping into a leadership role and where you need to be an authority here. The Ace of Wands is igniting you with a wonderful new passion project because it's showing you where you need to channel your fire. So this week, Sagittarius, you're restless, you're craving freedom. And, with the Saturn at 29 degrees, it's saying this is a karmic pause and you need to stay grounded, stay really grounded through this. You burst into the week in this Knight of Swords energy and your mind is racing and you're ready to make all of these bold decisions or speak your truth or to say what you feel like you need to say. But, with the Temperance card here, it's like, slow down. This is divine timing. This is not a delay. This is really about you having all your balance, like everything in balance and harmony. And the Seven of Pentacles is confirming what you've been sensing. You've planted seeds. They're just not growing and you want to harvest them, but it's too soon. So this eclipse is a pause that feels frustrating, but it's deeply protected. It wants to make sure that you have a harvest that's really good. So this full moon in Pisces during this eclipse is lighting up all your foundations, your home, your family, your childhood patterns and belief systems. And with Saturn at 29 degrees Pisces in your karmic teacher, it's asking you to heal any old wounds before you leap forward. So your person may be, processing their own emotional storms, not really forthright. And with Pluto and Aquarius, it's shifting your belief systems, maybe your view on family, your love, your future, it may be all being rewritten. You may be just changing your mind. And so with Uranus and Gemini, it's shaking things up. It's unexpected. It's inspirational. And sudden conversations may even spark hope. The Ace of Wands here shows you that flash of energy could lead to a passion project or a new creative opportunity, that something is worth channeling your restless information into. In love, with the Two of Wands, it suggests a choice or distance may be at play here. There's a movement coming, But with this eclipse, it says, don't rush. Clarity is coming. And so with the Emperor in your career, it reminds you that your leadership is necessary here. You know, even if you feel paused, even if you feel like you've been slowed down so much, you know, you're being positioned to step in authority position here. You know, with stillness shaping your destiny, trust in this timing, Sagittarius, because your fire is being refined for something bigger than you can even see right now. There is something actually beyond this veil. And this eclipse may reveal it. All right. Capricorn. Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. Right. 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, Devil, Lovers, King of Cups, and Justice. Oh my gosh, those cards been coming out a lot. Must be the week. All right. So we have here legacy and liberation. You've got the 10 of Pentacles showing your focus on stability and a family legacy. Something that you've earned, something that you've inherited, something that you are building towards to pass on. So you have here 5 of Cups. It says it's time to release the old grief. It has been weighing you down in your success. It is time to let go of something that has caused you pain. The Devil here, and this is your card. This is your karmic card. It says that you're breaking free of fear or control. And so in love, I am showing here that with the Lover's card, it speaks of soul contracts and choices. In career, you've got the King of Cups, which is about emotional intelligence and working through the heart. With Justice, karmic rewards are coming in for your efforts. And the eclipse is clearing out any karmic debris so you can thrive in this energy. You've got the 10 of Pentacles this week. And the 10 of Pentacles this week is clear reflection of where your mind has been. You know, you're looking at stability. You're looking at building something that lasts. You're grinding hard, Capricorn. But with this eclipse, you're stepping in like you're an authority saying, you know what? Enough is enough. So why? You've got the 5 of Cups here. And this is revealing there has been an emotional weight that has been carrying a lot of burdens for you. It's losses, it's regrets, it's disappointments, and it's been showing up and it's been tucked, hidden in that closet over there, right? As if it's not there, but it's been singing to you, right? So it's time to let it surface and just clean it out. It's instead of spring cleaning, maybe it's time to take it out the trash, right? It needs to be out, because your success doesn't need to be fueled by an old pain. The Devil card is your card. It's stepping in here, showing up, not as a warning, but as a mirror. You know, where have you been tied to something toxic? Where are you needing to be freeing yourself from some cycles that is keeping you in fear? You know, maybe you're overworking yourself in a very negative energy. And so you have finally this eclipse, because it's going to clear the karmic debris And it is connected with money and your security. And so it's time for you to lead with that intelligence and wisdom, because you've been manifesting from fear, not from your heart chakra, not from where you need to be. You know, your person, they feel pretty heavy too. You know, this heaviness with them is being mirrored back to you. So, you know, you've got this retrograde in Aquarius, you've got Uranus in retrograde, you've got all of this heavy Chiron retrograde energy, and it's transforming your entire relationship. And it's really making you look at your self-worth and your emotional safety. And so, you know, midweek next week, you're going to see Uranus and Gemini delivering some form of spark of hope, maybe a surprise in your finances. Maybe you're going to have an unexpected ally show up, or maybe you may have a little spark of inspiration that's going to remind you why you started this journey in the first place. Because in love, you got the lovers, and in lovers, that says a fated connection or some choice in your path that you may feel the energy of a soul contract shifting or deeper intimacy calling you forward. But this is definitely showing you that there is someone showing up for you. In career, you've got the King of Cups, and it advises emotional intelligence. You know, balance your logic with your heart, because you need to step into a leadership field here. And with the Justice card, you've got balance being restored. You know, what you have worked for in integrity is coming back around. None of it was wasted. You know, rest like it is a strategy in your plan. You know, this is how you win. Take a step back, because you're not falling behind. You're not slowing down. You are stepping into alignment. That is different, because this eclipse is breaking your chains. So get out that big old tool, and it's going to take a little time to clip the chain and break you free from your imprisonment. You no longer want to manifest from survival mode. It's time for you to get into your abundance mode. Aquarius. Oh, great, Anne. I'm so glad that that resonated with you. I have a Capricorn daughter who is having a baby next month. I'm going to have now a grandson and a granddaughter. Shh. All right. Aquarius. So Aquarius, we have the Star, Four of Wands, Seven of Swords, Knight of Cups, Six of Swords, and Judgment. A lot of swords there. Oh, you got a lot of swords there. All right, Aquarius. Your cards are showing me a celebration and an awakening for you. With the Star, your card is saying you are entering in your wishes received. You know, the Four of Wands is about home and celebrations and commitments. And you have also the Seven of Swords here. So you trust your intuition. Trust your intuition, because don't believe everything that is said here. You know, don't believe everything that's being told to you. because your love is in the energy of the Knight of Cups. All right. So gentle romances, sweet gestures. And with career being in the Six of Cups here, you are saying it's time to transition into calmer waters. With the Judgment, you're going through some kind of awakening this eclipse. You know, you're elevating. You're saying yes to the invitation. You're like, oh, I need this. And so this week, Aquarius, you open up your reading with the Star. And so this is about a mirror of your soul's essence. You're looking into this mirror in the water and saying, what do I want? And so, because this is about renewal, it's about purpose, it's about clarity, it's about, you don't want to feel the pains of transformation. You just want to be in that energy. And with the moon starting in your sign, you may feel raw and exposed, and you may feel that weakness is apparent, but it's your rebirth. All right, this is you rebirthing yourself, because the Four of Wands hits at this milestone. It's like, oh my gosh, I finally found home. I finally found my community. I've got my connections. Like, everything is feeling, this is where I want to be. And even if you feel alone right now, this is quietly aligning you in this energy to have the support around you. With the Seven of Swords, it says everything is not clear yet. All right. Trust your intuition above all else, because your instincts are sharp, and everything that's being told to you may not be something that you need to take as truth. In fact, there may be some illusions and some fantasies that might be floating around you. Your other person, or your specific person, or your lover, or your chosen one, they're doing their own processing with this eclipse. And emotional distance right now is not any forms of rejection. It's just doing their own soul work. And so you've got Neptune, you've got Jupiter, and this is all confirming your intuitive hits about them are correct. Even if you don't have all the facts, even if you don't have all of the information delivered, love energy is flowing gently. It's soft. It's lovely. And with the Knight of Cups, it shows sweetness and romance and tender massages and open heart vulnerability. There is something gentle and loving and romantic here. You've got in your work a transition. You may feel in between chapters. You might be in between jobs, and this is because you're on a journey of going from one rock to the other as you're stepping across the river. And so by Thursday, you have Uranus and Gemini. And so this is going to give you some unexpected news, maybe a friendship opportunity, a new friend, a new job, a new perspective. It's just going to light your path away. Maybe it's a new job interview that you didn't even think of. So this week, we're going to see at the end of the week, the Judgment is a call to rise yourself higher, to trust that things will work out for you, because you're asked to be stepped into your higher self. You are saying yes to awakening that's been knocking at your door all year, and it's time for you to step into this without detaching. Release those old identities, because you're not falling apart. You're becoming who you were always meant to be. And that's for you, Aquarius. Pisces. All right, so for Pisces, you've got the High Priestess, the Eight of Cups, the Moon, the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the World. All right, Pisces. Pisces, your eclipse is going to be mystical and powerful for you. You've got the High Priestess, and it says that it's time for you to follow your gut. Trust it. With the Eight of Cups, it shows that you're walking away from something that no longer serves you. You're walking away from something that hurts you. And so with the Moon, your ruler is confirming that the eclipse is spotlighting your soul truth. So with the Ace of Pentacles bringing you maybe a physical blessing, maybe it's something financial, maybe it's something that you didn't expect, maybe a lottery win. And then you've got in career, you've got King of Swords, which is about a strategy paying off or some kind of mental clarity. And so the World card completes your story. A cycle is closing and a brand new collection chapter is ready, because this eclipse is about you leveling up spiritually and materialistically. So this is your eclipse, Pisces, and the universe is calling it your graduation day. You know, you are seeing Saturn sitting at the final degree in your sign. And so it is handing out a karmic diploma for you. It feels heavy. It's like, oh, I'm carrying all my lifetimes of lessons right now. And as you are handed this diploma, it receives in this diploma this freedom. This freedom. The High Priestess is your crown. It is showing you that your intuition is on overdrive, that you are connected to source, your highest self. And so this isn't just a gut feeling. This is knowing. This is to be trusted. With the Moon being your ruler, it is lighting up the spotlight on all the truths that you wanted to avoid, because your emotions are your compass. With the Eight of Cups, it shows you quietly now walk away from what no longer serves you, whether it's a habit, whether it's a relationship, whether it is dreams that no longer match your soul, because you are not losing. You are now choosing. And with the retrograde in Aquarius confirming deep karmic ties are dissolving, this is clearing this ancestral and spiritual contracts that have held you back for so long. And then meanwhile, with Neptune and Jupiter, this is unlocking all of these new spiritual gifts for you. So you may be feeling psychic surges. You may be getting vivid dreams all of a sudden, flashes of insight. You may be experiencing deja vu. And so right now in the physical realm, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. And that means blessings, a new income, maybe winning the lottery. Maybe there is a potential for you to receive some money that you didn't expect, or it was money that was long overdue. It's stabilizing, and it will help you feel grounded through this transformation that you need, because career decisions are calling for strategy. It is time for clarity. It comes with a detached emotion, and it wants you to lead with that wisdom, because this massive cycle is closing through the world. It is signaling a completion. It is saying that you have now become a master in your own path. You know, this one is asking you to step into a new path that finally feels like home, because with Uranus in Gemini, this will deliver a revelation, perhaps a shocking conversation. Maybe there will be insight or an invitation that's going to shift your entire life, because you're not a dreamer anymore. You are the dream, and you are becoming an embodiment of your vision, because this eclipse is not just about a reset. This is a coronation. It is a graduation. You are finally walking in your dream. All right. So collectively, through the collective message. So through the collective message, you have not just about endings, it's your soul timeline, right? So you have here retrogrades are asking you to slow down and reflect. And while the eclipse is pulling us through this portal, it's taking us into a higher state of alignment. You know, trust this discomfort. Trust what does not seem to be bringing you clarity, because this week is called soul surgery. You know, if you're emotionally slowed down, if you feel like you are being stagnant, if you feel like everything is being behind, you know what? That's just because everything is being rewritten for your blueprint. Saturn at 29 degrees Pisces, this is your final exam. So there's a lot of illusions that have to be torn down. There is Uranus delivering clarity middle of the week. So it's not just about endings. It's about you stepping fully into your own timelines. And so retrogrades, yes, they are slowing us down. You know, they're asking us to pause, to reflect, to heal. And then with the Pisces eclipse, it's pulling us through this portal into a higher alignment. So if you're feeling emotional, tired, raw, you know what? This isn't weakness. It's a soul surgery. We are literally having the energies of this eclipse changing us, designing us the way that we really are meant to be. So your blueprint is really leveling up. It's changing up. It's like we're building a new form of a structure. It's clearing any of those old debts, and it's planting you on a path that you were meant to walk, because as you step into this Aries season, Saturn at 29 degrees Pisces, you are just going through your final exam as you are going to start stepping into the illusions that no longer serve you, releasing them. And Uranus is delivering flashes of clarity and destiny shifting insights. So don't resist the stillness. Don't fear this release, because this is alignment happening. It's in real time. This is a cosmic reset. So trust the discomfort, because what is coming next will be freedom, clarity, and a chapter that you have been waiting for. Maybe your whole life you've been waiting for this to happen. So watch for your rising sign and your moon sign, maybe even your Venus sign. And this will show up in your rising sign, how it shows up in your daily life, your moon sign for your emotional depth, your sun sign for your journey of your soul, and for your Venus sign, your passions and your inspiration and your connections. Because wow, we've got quite a week ahead. And with this Pisces eclipse, it's rewriting our story. And if you have been feeling these shifts, well, you're not alone. It has been going through a deep reset for all of us. And these readings just showed it. Now, I do want to hear from you. So drop your sun, your moon, your rising signs, your Venus in the comments. I absolutely love seeing how these energies play out for you in the collective. And if you're feeling clarity or comfort from this reading, maybe it's time that you share this with a friend. Maybe it's time that you share this with anyone. Or if you are ready to subscribe, click that bell below, because I have so many more powerful eclipse content, deep dives, guidance that you won't want to miss, and so many videos that are hypnotizing meditations for you to be able to step into your alignment. So whatever it is that you're trying to manifest in your relationship, I've got you. And so if you like to go deeper with me, whether it's a private reading, healing session, a one-on-one session, a hypnosis, whatever is there for your reset, the links are all in the description below. Remember, this eclipse isn't just about closing doors, it's opening portals for you. So stay grounded, Stay soft because you need to trust where your soul is leading you. And I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.